I will be showing you how to go from this to this. I will be comparing and benchmarking each major setting for graphics and performance differences so you can better optimize the game for your system. And I will be showing you my optimized settings as well. Starting with the CPU performance. Using CPU intensive settings, the R5 3600X is barely getting bottlenecked at around 110 FPS, with around 60% CPU utilization. 1% lows are also quite good in the high 70 FPS range, meaning this game can offer a very smooth high refresh rate experience even on lower end CPUs, as it should be, given the small scale and scope of the game. I would also like to point out that in my time testing the game, I didn't encounter any stuttering issues, and the frame rates were silky smooth. This is a great start so far. Now let's get into the settings. Starting with anti-aliasing and upscaling. In stills, native TAA looks a bit unstable. XeSS Ultra quality looks much better, more stable, and retains more detail. FSR2 quality looks absolutely horrendous. TSR quality looks similar to native TAAU, and DLSS quality looks almost identical to XeSS. So far, XeSS and DLSS look the best in stills. But what about image quality in motion? Native TAAU suffers from light smearing and ghosting. XeSS has noticeable shimmering. FSR2 quality suffers from heavy smearing. TSR quality has the most smearing so far, and DLSS quality looks the most stable in motion. So it's my recommended setting, to no one's surprise. Going from low quality to high quality screen space global illumination enables ambient lighting from light sources, and enabling high quality lumen global illumination completely transforms the lighting. Ultra quality lumen improves overall quality and accuracy, but considering the high performance cost of lumen, I recommend the high quality screen space solution instead. For reflections, switching to lumen reflections requires that you already have lumen global illumination enabled, otherwise it won't work, and it looks and behaves just as it should, unlike the standard screen space reflection setting that completely butchers reflections in this game. Performance-wise, it actually only has a small impact, but that's because lumen is already in use when it's turned off, which is why I still recommend sticking with screen space reflections for the best performance. For model detail, each option gradually increases the amount of environmental decoration, and it requires a level restart for it to apply changes, and it doesn't seem to have any noticeable performance impact. Keep it on Ultra. For post-processing, I could only notice it enabling bloom on high, so it doesn't seem to enable any other effects as far as I know, like chromatic aberration or vignetting, and the performance impact is negligible, so keep it on Ultra or High. Going from low to medium shadow detail drastically improves image quality and enables player shadows. High further improves quality and reduces flickering and blockiness, while Ultra further enhances shadow quality and, more importantly, enables shadow softness based on distance. While it looks more realistic, it doesn't necessarily look noticeably better for it to justify its large performance cost. I recommend sticking with High. For texture detail, Going from low to medium is the only option that seems to increase texture resolution, and higher options increase texture filtering. This setting also requires a level restart for changes to apply. The effects detail setting is very important in this game, as it controls many different graphical effects, such as these power-ups and Iron Man's thrusters, which gradually include more effects with each option. Another thing I found it affected was water. Going from low to medium applies an extra water effect, while high applies a water ripple effect that causes the surface of the water to move. And Ultra doesn't seem to do anything more for water, but most importantly, it controls the effects quality of character attacks, spells, and such. With Doctor Strange's portal, going from low to medium adds more longer reaching sparks, while high adds smoke and even more sparks. And I can't even tell what Ultra does above high, but it certainly drops FPS on Ultra, which is why I recommend the high option. The foliage quality setting increases the amount of dynamic foliage in the environment, and performance seems to remain the same. Keep it on Ultra. This game on max settings is very demanding, the opposite of what a free-to-play stylized and cartoonish game should perform like. On an RTX 3060, it can drop under 30 FPS when heavy effects are used on screen, and even during normal gameplay, the average frame rate is in the low 30s. More importantly, even using the optimized settings while still at native, which increases FPS by around 75%, doesn't get us a consistent 60 FPS, thus forcing us to use DLSS quality to finally get a locked 60 FPS. In fact, the frame rate is around 60 to 90 FPS most of the time, and the 1% lows are also just above 60 FPS at worst, which means this game can run with an unlocked frame rate silky smooth. Overall, this game is very well optimized, but it is still much more demanding than it looks. But thankfully, the few but very meaningful settings it offers allows for wide scalability. Are you guys satisfied with its performance?